Good afternoon. Here is the national news from BGI TV Current. I am Morire Rabila Lawal. First, the headlines. Sanwo-Olu, Governor Uzodinma orders meet over Alaba market demolition. Fuel subsidy, provide palliative like Kwara and Edo. Falana urges LG's states governments. Stop misleading Nigerians on new varsity curriculum, NUC. And to sports, Osimhen ranked third most valuable striker in world football. Now the news in detail. Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu of Lagos State and his counterpart from Imo State, Gov Uzodinma, have met over the demolition of the Alaba International Market. The meeting, which also had a Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives, Benjamin Kalu, in attendance, was held in Lagos yesterday. Speaking after the meeting, Sanwo-Olu said the meeting was a successful one, adding that issues of common interest were discussed. The Lagos State Governor said the meeting had gone on very successfully, where we discussed issues around a common interest and especially issues around the demolition of Alaba markets. A few weeks ago, the Lagos State government began the process of demolishing distressed buildings in the Alaba International Market in the Ojo local government area of the state. The enforcement team of the Lagos State Building Control Agency, LASBCA, and the Lagos State Task Force embarked on the joint exercise. The demolition had drawn condemnations from the affected traders and some Igbo groups who alleged they were being targeted due to the intrigues of the 2023 presidential election. Local and state government must take urgent measures to alleviate the effect of fuel subsidy removal on their constituents, Femi Falana San said Friday during an appearance. Following President Bola Tinubu's inaugural speech on May 29th, in which he declared that fuel subsidy is gone, fuel costs skyrocketed across the country, leading to calls for palliatives to mitigate the effects of the policy. President Bola Tinubu on July 7th directed the National Economic Council, NEC, led by Vice President Kashim Shettima, to begin the process of working on interventions to mitigate the impact of subsidy removal on the Nigerians. A week later, the federal government revealed that the president had begun putting in place a structural approach to make available cheap fuel through compressed natural gas, CNG, and liquefied natural gas, LPG. But Falana argued that the federal government alone should not be required to provide palliative to the masses affected by the removal of subsidy. The senior advocate of Nigeria cited the cases of Kwara and Edo State, where work days and school days, respectively, have been reduced to 3 days per week. The attention should not be on the federal government alone. State government must intervene decisively. Local government must also bring out their own palliatives to address the pains that have been inflicted on the Nigerian people. Moving on to the next story. The National Universities Commission, NUC, has responded to claims made by the Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASU, that it is not within the Commission's mandate to develop or review curricula for Nigerian universities. Dr. Noel Biodun Saliu, the Deputy Executive Secretary Academics, issued a statement on Friday in Abuja, urging ASU to stop misleading Nigerians on such a vital issue. Dr. Saliu stated the attention of the National University Commission, NUC, has been drawn to the publication of the Academic Staff Union of Nigerian Universities, ASU, with respect to its concerns over the core curriculum minimum academic standards. The said publication contains some misinformation that must be corrected in the interest of all. And to the next story. The Nigeria Police Force Public Relations Officer, CSP Olumiwa Adejobi, has reacted to a viral video that captured the moment policemen in Edo State handcuffed a yet-to-be-identified man and ran a vehicle over him. The disturbing video of a man in a torn white singlet, cuffed, lying on the road as passerby tried to intervene to stop police officers in the Sienna bus from running over him, emerged on Twitter in the early hours of Friday. Speaking on the development, Adejobi would describe the incident as unpoliced and unbelievable. said the Edo Police Public Relations Officer (PPRO) SP Chidi Unwabuzo has identified the policemen involved. He also said he has contacted the Edo Commissioner of Police to take urgent action on the matter. This is unpolice. I don't think a normal human being can do this. To crush a man with a car, this is unbelievable. He later tweeted, speaking to issues is not the priority in most cases. It is the taking action. The PPRO Edo Chidi has acted on the matter. In fact, he has identified the men. We will still comment further, sir. From Edo State, we'll go to the next story from Borno State. At least 6 persons were killed in Borno when a transport vehicle drove over a hidden explosive planted by Boko Haram terrorists. The incident occurred on a rural road between Bama to Kawuri in Konduma local government area, where the civilians routinely traveled to other parts of the state. Information learned that one of the vehicles, a Toyota Starlet returning from Adamawa State, stepped on the bomb, killing 5 passengers on board. The driver, who was severely injured, died an hour later in hospital in Maiduguri. The road between Bama to Konduga has been very peaceful, as it has not witnessed any attack in the last 6 years until now, when the insurgents decided to plant bombs on the road. Residents of Maiduguri said they are surprised with the turn of events recently, as the resurgence of terrorist activities is becoming fresh despite the call for surrender by the government. Recall that the government said over 100,000 terrorists alongside their families have so far surrendered, yet the number of recent attacks indicate much needs to be done with regard to terrorist activities, particularly in Borno State. From that story from Borno State, we'll go to the next one. Adeyeye Adeola, a talented Nigerian chef, has embarked on a remarkable culinary journey to set a new Guinness World Record for the longest cooking marathon individual. Adeola's cook-a-thon began on Friday, June 30, 2023, in the Ileoluji or Kebo local government area of Ondo State, and is scheduled to conclude on Thursday, July 6, 2023. This is coming after another Nigerian chef, Adeparisi Damilola, also known as Chef Dami, embarked on 120-hour cook-a-thon in Oye local government area of Ekiti State. Chef Dami, a 22-year-old student at the Federal University Oye Ekiti, aimed to push the boundaries of culinary endurance. Information report that another Nigerian chef, Hilda Bassi, currently holds the Guinness World Record for the longest cooking marathon. Bassi's record-breaking attempt took place from Thursday, May 11th to Monday, May 15th, during which she cooked for over 100 pots of food over 4 days. In an official statement on its website, the Guinness World Record confirmed Hilda Effion Bassi, also known as Hilda Bassi, as the record holder for the longest cooking marathon individual, with an impressive time of 93 hours and 11 minutes. And to end the national news this hour is a sports story. Victor Osimhen is now the 3rd most valuable striker in the world, according to popular statistics medium Transfer Market. Osimhen is ranked only behind Paris Saint-Germain forward Kylian Mbappe and Manchester City Erling Haaland. The 24-year-old was the top scorer in Serie A last season with 26 goals from 32 games. The Nigerian added another 5 in the UEFA Champions League. Tottenham Hotspur forward Harry Kane is in the 4th position, followed by Inter Milan's Lautaro Martinez. Osimhen is the highest-ranked striker in Serie A and Africa. With that sports story, we've come to the end of today's national news from BGI TV Current. Before we go, some headlines. Sanwo-Olu, Governor Uzodinma orders meet over Alaba markets demolition. Provide palliatives like Kwara and Edo, Falana urges LG state governments. Stop misleading Nigerians on new varsity curriculum, NUC. On sport, Osimhen ranked 3rd most valuable striker in world football. For more updates of our broadcast on YouTube, our handle is BGI TV Current. Kindly subscribe and click on the notification bell. Select option all to have access to all of our broadcasts. On Facebook, Bagide Imo with Alawiye Adebayo. Please like and follow the page. For other placements of your goods and services, coverage of events and functions, please dial the phone number streaming on your screen. Thank you for watching. I am Moriri Rabila Lawal. Good afternoon.
Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle.